Welcome to this audio explainer. I am so thrilled you're tuning in. Think of this as the perfect on-the-go companion to those pre-workshop flashcards you've got on nuanced educational leadership. Whether you're literally listening to this in the car, right before stepping into the room, or you're just using it to solidify your understanding as you review your materials, we're going to break these concepts right down. The goal? Making sure you are fully prepared to engage and lead with absolute impact.
To help you mentally map out the concepts for your upcoming session, we'll be unpacking 5 foundational modules of capacity building today. We're looking at defining nuanced leadership, the 4 distinctions of trust, making trusted decisions, precision over prescription, and finally, shifting the leadership paradigm. Let's just jump right in.
Module 1 sets our baseline, defining nuanced leadership. So what does it actually mean to be a nuanced leader?
Michael Fullan hit the nail on the head with this back in 2019. He said, and I quote, "Nuanced leaders by definition pay careful attention to the big and the small pictures and to their interconnections." You know, nuance really isn't about choosing between the macro vision or the micro details. It's about paying careful, deliberate attention to both. And honestly, it's about understanding exactly how they interlock. You can't just be this high-level visionary floating in the clouds, but you also can't just be constantly stuck down in the weeds. A truly nuanced leader sees the invisible threads connecting the two.
When you take a second to reflect on the sheer complex web of expectations placed on modern school leaders today, it's almost comical, right? You're expected to be a visionary, a budget wizard, a therapist, and a data analyst, basically all at the exact same time. Balancing these totally competing priorities, like being fiercely results-driven while somehow remaining incredibly heart-centered. That is the true test of nuance. It's like a giant puzzle where you have to weave all these incredibly complex, interconnected traits into one cohesive school culture.
Moving right along to Module 2, the 4 distinctions of trust. This focuses on the very foundation that holds all of those complex expectations together.
I want you to take a quick moment and genuinely ask yourself this anchor question right out of your study materials. What do the people you work with actually entrust to you? I mean, really think about it. It's super easy to just say, well, they trust me to run the school, but it goes so much deeper than that, doesn't it? They are entrusting you with their valuable time, their professional growth, their students' well-being, and literally the overall culture of the building.
So how do you actually build that kind of deep trust? Well, according to the framework, trust isn't just some solid, immovable monolith. It's actively built upon 4 distinct measurable elements: sincerity, care, reliability, and competence. Think about these as the 4 legs of a table. If you're incredibly competent and totally reliable, but you lack sincerity and genuine care, that table is going to wobble. Your workshop is going to dive much deeper into these, but just keep this in the back of your mind. Trust is a totally active practice that requires all 4 of these pillars standing strong.
Okay, so how do those 4 pillars of trust actually influence our daily choices? That brings us perfectly to Module 3, making trusted decisions. Making trusted decisions definitely doesn't happen in a vacuum. It requires this incredibly delicate balancing act, connecting to 6 key leadership actions, or what we call juncture points. We're talking about everything from staying well-informed and upholding standards to transparent communication and structural empowerment. If you can actively model best practices while remaining highly visible and completely fair, your decisions are naturally just going to gain the deep trust of your entire community. Building right off those juncture points, we hit Module 4, precision over prescription. How do we actually guide our teams to hit their goals without totally micromanaging them? Think of this concept kind of like archery. Let's compare the 2 approaches. If you lead with high precision but low prescription, you're essentially setting a crystal clear target, but you're letting your team figure out the best technique to hit it. The results? They tend to be highly consistent and tightly clustered together, even if they're slightly off-center at first. But on the flip side, if you're dealing with low precision and high prescription, where you dictate every single step without being clear on the ultimate goal, you might get one lucky bullseye, but overall, your results are going to be completely scattered. So basically, prescription scatters us, but precision groups us together so we can recalibrate and adjust as a unified team. And how do we actually achieve this? Well, definitely not by dictating every single step. Instead, we foster precision by leading the exploration of the exact problem, and crucially, by actively soliciting expertise from the incredibly talented people we've already hired. You set the precise goal, and then you just step back and empower your experts to figure out how to hit it.
And that brings us to our 5th and final module, shifting the leadership paradigm. Let's see how all of this theory builds into an actionable shift in your daily life.
Shifting your leadership paradigm actually demands a pretty intentional, almost radical shift in your daily language. We really have to consciously move away from traditional, rigid, and, let's face it, judgmental words like should, good, bad, right, or wrong. Instead, we need to adopt a nuanced vocabulary. Swapping good and bad for terms like quality and undesirable literally instantly removes blame from the room. Trading right and wrong for agreed and missed does the exact same thing. This seemingly simple vocabulary shift, it's a real game changer for fostering a powerful culture of shared problem solving. In that evolved, nuanced language directly supports 7 really practical daily commitments. It's about shifting your focus to goals rather than just roles. It involves actively listening to your stakeholders, celebrating the past while totally embracing a new vision, and finding that shared language we just talked about. It's also about building capacity and confidence, leveraging skills to sustain progress, and ultimately centering humanity in absolutely all of your thinking about paradigm shifts.
To tie all of these modules together, Patricia Wright gave us this brilliant reminder back in 2022. She said building the capacity of educators, strengthening teacher practice, grounded in collaboration and shared leadership is the most effective path to improving student learning. Notice how every single concept we've unpacked today, from building trust in sharing decisions to fostering precision and evolving our language, points directly to this exact idea. Grounding your work in collaboration really is the definitive path to continuous school improvement.
So as you prepare to step into your workshop and put all these flashcards into actual practice, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Ask yourself, what is the very first language shift you are going to make today to build the nuanced trust that transforms your school community? Really think about just one word you can change in your very next meeting that will foster precision and trust rather than prescription and judgment. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this audio explainer. Have an absolutely incredible workshop, and we'll see you next time.